What's your favorite part?
Like you said,
I like
flown
whenever you go up, you just kind of
general
feel,
aviation,
I don't know,
gliders,
it's just fun whenever you just
power
Like you're
craft,
free.
Nothing gonna stop me, living it up. Dancing to the backbeat, turning it up. Nothing gonna stop me, living it up. Dancing to the backbeat, turning it up.
Here for the Ashland Balloon Fest 2021. They were unable to have it last year. We all understand why events were canceled, but they are back this year and better than ever. And so we're hoping that the rain will hold off so we can watch the balloons go up in the air tonight.
My name's Ray Hinchcliffe. This is my wife, Emily Hinchcliffe.
Hi.
The original owner of the Legal Eagles was Ted Watts. He passed away in October from COVID. He was training me to fly, and we talked about my training and all that, and we talked about when he passed away, he was going to will me his balloons. So that's how I ended up with these two balloons. Wonderful balloons. They're avions. The one I have with me today is a 80,000 cubic foot balloon. It's just a basic round balloon. My burner, it's a one single burner, 18 million BTU burner. It's got a big eagle on the side holding the scales of justice. The original owner was a lawyer from Meadville, PA. I met him 8 years ago in Canton, Ohio. That's my hometown where I always crewed just for the Canton Football Hall of Fame Balloon Fest. The volunteer lady that runs the volunteers there came to me. Our group, we always did special shapes. She came to our group and said, I need one person to go with a regular shaped balloon. So I stepped up and did it, and it's been history ever since.
Yeah.
So do you go up in it too?
I do. I just help crew for it right now. I did go up into a balloon one time last year, I think, with Alex. Yeah.
Tell us something about yourself and how long you've been in ballooning.
In ballooning, I got my first flight in 1985. I was a volunteer in my hometown, Coshocton, Ohio, for the BFA, the Balloon Federation of America. And the pilot I was assigned to, when he was ready to launch, said, hop in. And that was the free ride. And then after that, the next one was much more expensive for me.
I was going to say they're pretty pricey.
Yeah, the first one's free. The next one costs you.
They get you hooked.
Quite a bit more.
They get you hooked.
So got my license, private in '87 and commercial in '89. And I mean, myself and Mike Emick, my cohort here, have been at every event here at Ashland. We were with the first group that started the event here.
Now you said commercial license and private?
Commercial, private. You get your private license first, typically, and then a commercial license after that, so that you can teach with ballooning and a commercial license. You can teach student pilots. Ray's a student pilot of mine now.
How high do you go? What's typical height based on the winds? I know
we're limited only the same as small aircraft, typically around 10,000 feet without oxygen. But generally, a ballooning event, you're going to be in the lower 3,000 feet for sport and pleasure. You know, it's only degrees of smallness above 3,000 feet. The houses just look a little smaller. The cars look a little smaller.
So have you ever been to Albuquerque to their main balloon fest?
We have. In fact, I'm one of the flight safety officials
you really?
on the ground. There are 12 of us that make sure everybody's behaving during launch.
It's on our bucket list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
We're going to Albuquerque this week, but we're going
back,
to Arizona.
back this year with 600 balloons planned.
Wow.
This October.
Did it help to know people? No, don't answer that on the film.
Probably, but I'm not one of those people.
I had to ask.
You
Just
always try.
always looking for an angle. I'm sorry. Hey, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to say?
No, it's just been, I've been hanging out with them guys now for
Oh,
the
how
last
fun.
few years.
Listen,
So
it was
nice to meet
so
you
much.
guys.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, what's your favorite part?
I like whenever you go up, you just kind of feel, I don't know, it's just fun whenever you just
Like you're
float
free.
Get that funny feeling in your stomach.
Sometimes.
Have you ever guided it? Like turned it or anything?
It's the hot air balloon.
Have you gone up?
Yes.
So what do you think about it?
It's pretty fun.
When I'm flying, I fix
How do you turn it?
Well, there's
some
ropes that go up and there's some openings on the side and they're called turning vents. And then you pull a certain rope, whichever one you want, and then it spins it around.
That's amazing.
But you can only spin, you can't like turn it to go like that.
See, I can do that.
So you're just
standing
totally
on the ground.
You're going to a different
Just go like
direction,
that.
and then you go.
My name is Jeremy Cowger, and I fly Breezy Blocks. This right here is the basket for Breezy Blocks. It is a Cameron system, and Breezy Blocks will stand about 70 feet tall and about 60 feet wide, and it is a 70,000 cubic foot size balloon. And 70,000 cubic feet could be a little bit difficult to comprehend, and this might not help, but a basketball is about 1 cubic foot. So if you turn Breezy Blocks upside down and fill with basketballs, you could fit about 70,000 basketballs inside of Breezy Blocks.
Oh wow.
Breezy Blocks is a racer type hot air balloon built and designed for competition flying. The thing that makes it very good at competition is its overall shape. If you see a lot of the balloons, we call them round balloons, they're kind of shaped like this. A racer balloon is shaped more like a football. And what makes it good is that with competition, the whole thing is being able to get to a particular target. And the way that you get to a target is by using the available wind at different altitudes. So given that it's a little bit more of a profile shape like this, it goes up and down a lot faster than a typical round balloon. So a racer balloon can get into those varying winds much quicker than a round balloon.
So that's why it is like a racer, because you can do it quicker and go apart from the kind that just float for fun.
Well, it's interesting that the racer might be a little bit of a misnomer. It goes up and down certainly faster than other balloons, but all balloons go along with the wind. So if the wind is going 5 miles an hour and you have a round balloon and a racer balloon in that exact same wind, they're both going to go 5 miles an hour.
Gotcha.
But at different altitudes, the wind is slightly different directions. So if I want to fly to you and I'm heading to you, I might go up a different altitude and I might head this direction, and I can come down and then head that direction again and zigzag my way to go right where you're at. And the quicker you can make those changes to get into those different air currents, the better off you're going to do at getting to the spot that you want to get to.
So where do you normally fly? Just anywhere?
Yeah, so I live about 15 miles southeast of Akron, Ohio, and so obviously that's where I fly the most. There's a town that we fly out of quite a bit, Smithville, Ohio. But whenever we go and take off, we're always flying out of parks, out of schoolyards, out of people's backyards that we're aware of for communication with, farm fields and different things like that. And that's pretty much the same places that we land. One thing, a lot of times when we land, people will see a hot air balloon land behind somebody's house. Mm-hmm. And there might be trees around, and they get concerned, and they wind up calling local rescue and 911, if there's a balloon crash or something like that. Balloons very, very rarely ever fly from one airport to another airport. As I told you, there's different air currents that are there, but very rarely are we going to take off from one airport with a specific task of getting to another airport. We'll take off from a location, and if we're up just for a joy flight, not competition, we might just be out flying around with no particular goal, and we're at a particular altitude, and where it takes us, it takes us.
I know we're not going to get to go up in the air this weekend because of the weather. What do you do when there's 30 air balloons all in the same proximity to each other? How do you keep from bumping into each other?
Yeah, so number one, sometimes we do bump into each other. However, we're all moving in that same air mass. So if you have a balloon that's, whenever we inflate, we maintain a certain separation so that we're not inflating on top of each other and running into each other in that case. But when we inflate and then take off, we're taking off into the same air mass. So when two balloons take off, we'll be moving about the same speed, and we don't have a collision path.
Okay.
Now, whenever we do take off, we do have our ground crew monitoring the area, because sitting inside of the basket, you have a large balloon up on top of you. So looking straight up, you don't see anything. You see your balloon. So our ground crew will give us signals that it's clear above you to go ahead and take off and fly out.
Can we also look inside your basket and even video?
You can.
There's a lot of stuff already in there.
Yeah, it's this is how we transport the balloon.
Okay.
These are the burners, obviously, and off on the side there are 4 poles.
Okay.
The 4 poles will go into here and go up and support the burners whenever the balloon's not inflated. So these cables then attach to the burner, but they also attach to the balloon envelope. So a lot of times people think of wicker basket and think, man, you're flying in a wicker basket? Isn't that weak, or are you afraid of it breaking or something? Well, this wicker is actually very, very strong. But in addition to that, there's a subframe that's through here. You see these metal poles?
Okay.
The metal poles go down and underneath the basket and back up the other side. But these cables also go down and they crisscross in between and go up. And the cables are attached to the balloon envelope itself. And this particular balloon, maximum weight that we can take off with is 1,800 pounds. And
that's a lot of weight.
One of these cables is stressed to 4,800 pounds. So if you think 1,800 pounds, 4,800 pounds, and we have actually multiple cables, that go down and crisscross underneath. Well, it's a very, very safe type of flying device. In all kinds of testing, people have tried to find a synthetic or a man-made material that beats wicker, and we just haven't found it. It doesn't exist. The thing with wicker is when it's woven, it is very strong, yet it remains flexible. So whenever we come in for a landing, we don't have landing gear, we don't have wheels that take a little bit of a bump. The basket actually absorbs some of that through the natural flexing of the wicker.
Well, thanks so much. This is so interesting.
Absolutely.
I love it. So the weather was bad this weekend, and we didn't get to see any balloons go up.
But we had some great talks with several of the balloonists, and very educational. Can't wait to come again and watch. And now I know a little bit more about ballooning.
And both of those teams that we talked to have been to Albuquerque for that big balloon fest. So that is on our bucket list.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video and got to see the actual people that operate these balloons and how safe it is, and we just enjoyed being with them. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love for you to subscribe and like our videos if you do, and then just hit the bell if you want to know when the next one comes up. So from us, the best of us, to you,
we're the Floros. So as I think about these balloonists and their experiences, I must say I will always look up to them. I will.
Yeah. Bye-bye.